like to invite our friends from Alberta, another prairie province, to talk a little bit about the ecosystem there. So I'll ask Brent to join us here, and then he's going to introduce his colleagues as well. So thank you.
Hello.
Hello. We can hear you.
Am I on now? Okay. I am just going to get set up with sharing my screen here. Now, am I seeing the right thing? What are we seeing on your end?
Just you.
Just me. Okay. Bear with me a moment. I've got too many screens going on.
Perfect.
That looks reassuring.
There we go. Yes, we've conquered step number one. My name is Brent Jensen, and I'm here representing Edmonton. We represent 15 municipalities in the Edmonton metropolitan region here in Alberta. I have colleagues with me, Dean of Ailes at the University of Alberta, Dr. Stan Blade, Nella Brodett from AMII, the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute, and we also have Gabriel Dechichi with Improbable, a local gaming company. So I'm going to go through my information quickly and leave you to the experts in the fields that you're most interested in. So very thankful for the opportunity to present to you. Thank you for your time and attention today. Presentation mode, where is? Okay. So when you fly into Edmonton, and I know you will soon enough, you'll notice that on your boarding pass it says YEG. Now that's our International Air Transport Association code for the airport associated with our region, but it also symbolizes the value of our region: young, educated, and growing. But the Edmonton metropolitan region is young. We are the youngest city in Canada with a median age of just 36 years of age. Now, to complement this, we've been celebrated as the best community in Canada for youth and youth work. We are educated. From kindergarten to PhD, our region is among the most educated in the world. Over 130,000 students enrolled in 7 public-funded post-secondary universities and colleges. 22,000 of those are going to graduate this year alone. We're increasingly attracting larger and larger numbers of foreign students, recognized as the most entrepreneurial region in Canada. Now, growing, already one of the largest economic centers in Canada. Our regional GDP is over 105 billion. We're the fastest growing region in the country, and Alberta is the fastest growing jurisdiction in North America. In terms of export growth, we're outpacing Canadian average by more than 2 to 1. We actually lead the nation in a growth rate of 10.8% in global exports, and much of that driven by our manufacturing center. Now, young, educated, and growing, that's really what I want you to take out of today's slide if you don't take, or today's presentation if you don't take anything else. Extremely diverse regions in Canada. We have more than 1 in 4 persons in the region being a visible minority, and over 26% of the population are immigrant language speakers. That equates to over 150 different languages represented in the region, which speaks to our great immigration policies here in Alberta. The Edmonton metropolitan region's business ecosystem is extremely diverse. We're primed for growth and investment in 4 key sectors. So we focus on energy and clean technology, health and life sciences, manufacturing and advanced manufacturing, and food and agribusiness. Now, AI and high technology are powering growth across each of these sectors. We've had a 53% increase in the number of technology businesses headquartered here in Alberta, and the metro region fostering innovation and leading in each of those sectors. Not only do we have a wonderful natural resource base, but an extremely competitive and skilled talent pool that is quickly driving diversification, that attraction, and further investment into our region. Now, between 2013 and 2018, we actually experienced close to 26% tech talent growth. Now, this talent received an A grade for quality of labor by a CBRE tech talent report, and that report also recorded an improvement of 10 points in 2019, making it the leading score increase in any market. We are a top 100 startup ecosystem, and we've moved up 34 spots in the last 2 years, making us actually number 91 in global rankings. Even through COVID, Q1 of this year, Q1 of 2020, Edmonton was number 4th top city in the country for VC. Well, when you come to Edmonton, I know you will, I will connect you directly with an amazing ecosystem of people and companies that are going to help take ideas root and grow your organizations. Now, there's so much more I really would like to tell you. Half hour is nowhere near long enough, but I've brought 3 amazing individuals with me to provide you more information on agriculture, research and commercialization of artificial intelligence, tech and gaming in the Edmonton region. Please connect with me, and I'll share this again with you later, but Jensen at edmontonglobal.ca and visit the region at edmontonglobal.ca. I'm going to pass the baton over to my good friend, Dr. Stan Blade. He's the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, Life and Environmental Sciences at Alberta's largest university, the University of Alberta.
Thanks very much, Brent, and boa tarde, everyone. It's a great pleasure to speak to you. Certainly have to thank you, Carolina, and the Chamber for coordinating all of this. It is very much appreciated and superb. I'm just going to try to paint a picture in the few moments that I have with you. I have a sense of the breadth of this group, but certainly I'm speaking to individuals that are focused along that continuum between innovation of the production of food, of that processing of those food, and then of course all of the ways in which food is distributed, not only here within Canada, but around the world. You know, I think you probably have a sense, just like Brazil, I have a very interesting experiences and certainly have appreciated the current partnerships that my faculty that I have with Brazil. We work very closely with Embrapa, strong relationship in livestock genomics and other activities, and also with Unicamp, as you know, such a great food innovator in Campinas, that we have a lot of collaboration around a number of technologies as well. So let's just paint that picture of our region here in the Edmonton area. You know, almost 2 million hectares of great land. We, as colonialists, came to this particular area because it was such a fertile area. It's set up. We have this also remarkable set of producers, of farmers in this area. And to the question that was asked earlier, and thank you, Alberto, you set the table perfectly, I think, for a Western Canadian, for a prairie's approach to economic development as well. Certainly, our producers have high levels of education. They are significantly capitalized. Many of these are multi-million-dollar operations. Very uniquely, they not only have a lot of production equipment, the standard things of seeders and combines. This area in Western Canada is quite unique in having a lot of on-farm storage. So the idea of supply chains for the crops that we produce, Alberto's covered them very well. Canola, barley, wheat, oats. We have a number of specialty companies here as well. We also have a number of groups that are very involved in cannabis production, as you might be aware of Canada's change in legislation over the last 2 years. So, you know, that part of the puzzle is one that is very important to us. We have somewhere in the range of over 20,000 workers in the agri-food value chain, and there's a great deal of activity and a great deal of focus. Excellent connectivity, our airport, one of the most direct routes to China, so lots of possibilities for us to be exporting things. We have people exporting baby chickens into the Middle East from this area. We have people exporting other high-value products to other parts of the world. So an interesting domestic market, but last year, Alberta, our province, exported somewhere around 11 or 12 billion dollars worth of agri-food products. So this is a significant industry for us, and one that is certainly growing. But we're looking for new ideas, new technologies. We've been very good at incorporating these kind of things in the past. So let me just take a couple of minutes just to give you a picture. Of course, selfishly, I will talk about our faculty, but really it builds into the things that our region does. So our faculty connects production to food, to nutrition, to health. That's what the companies that we work with do. We have a great arrangement, actually one we've just signed with Trow Nutrition, a global nutrition company, animal nutrition company based in the Netherlands, because we're doing great research together, but they also see a real opportunity for growing their market. We have a local company that used technology from our faculty, but to pull out a very important molecule for use in cosmetics and others, CPRO, that they now have built a facility here in Edmonton, and they're exporting that molecule and a number of very high value products around the world. The names that you know in Brazil, Cargill, Bunge, they're all here either crushing canola or making other kinds of value-added products for export. And lots of other things that maybe you don't immediately think about in the agri-food space. Very active multinational company that originated here, Champion Pet Foods, that is now producing a whole array of very high-end products. Again, making that connection between innovation, things that some of my colleagues have worked with them on, new products, new product ideas, and now again exporting very high value pet food products across the world. So I'm very happy to answer questions, but I guess I'm just trying to make that point that we're good in this area of connecting that innovation space to the broader value chain. Great land base, amazing producers, strong processors for both that retail market and those cool ingredients that the world wants as well. But we need the kinds of technologies that some of your companies are involved with as well. And we're certainly interested in talking about the fit of the kinds of things that you're interested in, specifically to that question around agri-consulting. As you can imagine, most of our producers in this part of the world have maybe farms between 500 hectares up to 2,000 or 3,000 hectares. They very much depend on consulting groups for all aspects at the moment.
Oh, it's not?
I think it's frozen.
How about now? How about now?
Looking good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that I was able to say all of those words so you didn't have to see the screen. But here's a little snapshot, and I'll share these slides with Brent, who can then forward it on to everybody so you have them. All right. Now my screen is frozen that I can't move down. There we go. So in 2018, we formally spun out as AMII, the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute, due to the federal government announcing the Pan-Canadian AI strategy. And this is actually really exciting because it's the first national AI strategy to be announced in the world. And with that came a $125 million investment into 3 centers of AI excellence across Canada. And we are so recognized at the University of Alberta that we were awarded that funding and then was able to now spin out into AMII, as you see today, which is a not-for-profit research organization supporting industry implementation and adoption of artificial intelligence and machine learning. The other 2 institutes are in Montreal and Toronto, but we're not here to talk about them. So here's a few notable names of our fellows that are attached to our institute here, and a lot of them actually work with our industry partners. So this is an attraction that that a lot of global partners have come and seen and put a spotlight here on Alberta and the Edmonton region based on these names. I do want to note that Angel Chang, Kevin Leighton Brown, and Mark Schmidt on the bottom here are from British Columbia, both from UBC and Simon Fraser. So we are moving across the provincial borders in acquiring some of that talent and having access to it here. Here's some areas where we specialize in. What we're globally known for is reinforcement learning. And this is where Dr. Rich Sutton is actually the pioneer of reinforcement learning and has been working on this for decades. And that is a global attraction to what we're building here in Alberta. So we do house the best reinforcement learning talent and are developing that here in Edmonton and here in Alberta. So that's something notable. Outside of that, all of the other researchers have a diverse specialization and expertise in the rest. When we do talk about, areas such as agri-tech, precision medicine has been a highlight in actually transferring and pivoting some of that research into crop growth and diagnosis of disease, et cetera, to support that work. here's some notable machine learning achievements done by our researchers and fellows. I'll send this over so that you guys can read through that, but it's pretty impressive. And now where we are is with AMII as a not-for-profit, we're really here to just support industry. When we talk about moving across something that we've developed called the machine learning adoption spectrum. And this is where, you know, you could be so early stage where you're not really sure what ML is or AI is, or what's the difference between ML, AI, and data science, all the way through to, you know, I'm AI core at my business, and I now want to advance what's the next 5-10 years going to look like, and how do I get there? So we do this through several different types of services. One is advisement and mentorship. So this is about accessing our scientists and our experts, both at AMII directly. So we have a team of over 30 people with most of those being technical experts and machine learning scientists. And then on top of that, we have access to the fellows and students from the universities to help us with these industry engagements. So this is where we can help you identify your ML opportunities. If you're not sure what they look like, take a look at your data and understand, you know, where you need to grow, and also build your AI capabilities. So the difference between us and, let's say, another ML consulting group or AI consulting group is actually that we're here to help you grow. And it's about helping you understand how ML can impact your business and how you can get there yourself and hire the best people and access the best talent. So we won't take your data, turn around and say, ta-da, here's your magic box of AI, go with it, and then when you have problems, come back to us. It's actually about helping you get to that place where you can scale and sustain your projects around machine learning. So we advise both from ideation all the way through to project execution, and seeing your successes and return on the investment. And then the second category of services is through education and training. And this is actually where we're supporting Alvaz Agritech, and I see Breno and Felipe on the call. So please chime in if you want to. This is where we support companies in that earlier stage, or those in the initiating and implementing stages, get to a place where their team is comfortable with machine learning and can start to look at those proof of concept projects and see return on that side. So we have many different publicly available courses online, as well as we do customized training, which we are doing with Alvaz right now. I'm about to kick that off. So education and training, a major component of, you know, supporting your in-house AI capabilities from the outset, and then on top of that, adding that scientific advisement to then just push and propel your team to get to success. So I've got a bunch of services here, but I'm not going to run through them. I'll send this as well. We have a large global community here at AMII with a ton of different companies, both Alberta-based and across the world. And we love to have our partners be a part of that, and really excited to continue our work with Alvaz. And I know that they have goals of building out their team and hiring Alberta-based talent. So that's what's exciting for us. And yeah, I'll take any questions as well following Gabriel's soliloquy, because that's what it feels like right now. I'm just talking to myself. I'll hand it off to Brent.
Thanks for the insights, Nella. I'm sure there'll be questions after this. Gabriel is from Improbable Gaming. Improbable has about 500 employees worldwide in 7 different offices, but 100 plus employees here locally. And Gabriel is one of those, and a Brazilian as well. So I'm going to hand it off to Gabriel to talk more about gaming and technology in the Edmonton region.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Okay, awesome. Can you see my screen? Just to be safe. Awesome. Olá a todos, meu nome é Gabriel e é prazer estar aqui. Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel. As Brent said, I'm a games programmer here in Edmonton. And in today's presentation, I basically want to cover 3 points. I'd like to talk a little bit about the game industry in general and in Canada. I would like to talk as to why I think Edmonton is an interesting place right now for tech in general. and also a little bit about my experience having moved to Edmonton from Brazil to work in tech. So a lot of people don't know about this, but Avengers Endgame is not the biggest launch of an entertainment product in the world. It's definitely the biggest launch of a movie product, but not the biggest entertainment product. The biggest launch of an entertainment product is Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a video game that was launched in 2018 and made roughly 800 million on the first 2 days. And this is not a one-time thing. If you take a look at the graphs, the games industry has been bigger and growing compared to the music and films industry over the past 10 years. And currently, we estimate that there are around 2.5 billion players in the world, and that's a real number, which is around 30% of the world population. And we don't expect the growth to stop. With streaming, cross-platform, AR and VR, we expect the growth to continue. And of course, a lot of this growth has started with the app boom in 2008. However, different from apps, games are much more of a dynamic market, especially mobile games. So for instance, if you take a look at the top downloaded games for 2016 and 2019, you pretty much can tell there's a lot of similarities here, especially on the first 5. However, if you take a look at the same data for mobile games, it's completely different. There is only one game that has made to both lists over time. And having worked with mobile games back in Brazil for quite some time, I can say that this is very true. Different from apps, players are always looking for the next big thing, and they will spend time in whatever is giving the most value for their time, which obviously there are pros and cons to this for companies, but I think this creates a democratic environment which gives chance to new high quality games and interactive applications to find their space in the market. So what about Edmonton? Where does Edmonton fit in all of this? In fact, Canada is the 3rd largest game developing country in the world right now, very close to England. And which means Canada that has a lot of know-how about how to make games and interactive media applications. However, most of those studios are concentrated in Montreal, Vancouver, and Toronto, which, as you can imagine, drives competitiveness and therefore costs of operations for companies, cost of living for individuals, and overall competition for talent in the region to a very high standard. And that's where I think Edmonton offers a very great opportunity right now, because in terms of cost, compared to those 3 cities, Edmonton has less taxes, much less competitiveness in the tech industry in general, because the tech industry outside of games is also very concentrated on those 3 cities as of now. And perhaps more importantly, Edmonton, as Brent said right in the beginning, has a very strong technical and educational foundation. We have the University of Alberta, which is the 4th rank in Canada right now. And having worked with some new grads from the university, I can say that it's a they are very well trained and can come prepared for starting in the market. And actually that has been a strategy of Improbable over the past 2 years. We have partnered with U of A research department to bring some bleeding edge technology to our upcoming game with some excellent results overall. So to finalize, trying to be as quick as possible here, having immigrated to Edmonton and lived here for a little more than a year right now, I can say that Edmonton lives up to the Canada's reputation of being a welcoming region for immigrants. Me and my wife, Paula, we have only wonderful things to say about all the interactions that we received. A lot of people are very helpful, and we were lucky to make both friends, local friends that are both immigrants and Canadians over the time. We also appreciate a lot that the region cares about quality of life and is committed to preserving their natural parks, which are especially important after 4 months of winter, which is not that bad, but it's still pretty good. So yeah, overall, I can say that Edmonton already feels like home very quickly, in my opinion, and I'm glad and looking forward to continue working in the region in the future. And that's all.
Thank you, Gabriel. I think we probably have time for one medium-sized question or two really small questions, Carolina.
Yeah, no, we definitely have time for questions. I have a question. You're being very generous about 4 months of winter, huh?
Well,
we don't even have that in Toronto.
Yeah, like some people say it's 6, some people, but like to me it was like 4. Like I don't really count November. It's not that cold. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Pretty impressive to see the gaming industry. The numbers are just skyrocketing. We had the presentation from Montreal yesterday as well, where they introduced a little bit of the technology and all the cool things that are happening there. So for gaming, Canada is definitely a good place to be if you are a game developer, for sure. So I don't see here, I think the questions, there was a couple questions for Stan that were answered already in terms of sizing of the agriculture sector. So I would like to thank you, Brent, for putting together all these great speakers to showcase a little bit about what Edmonton is made of. Thank you so much, really appreciate it.